Greetings to you. My name is Father Peter, and this is the Schola of the Monastery of the Holy Cross. We are now going to sing for you the communion chant for the 6th Sunday of Easter. And before we do, I'm going to give you the text in Latin and in translation. So we're going to sing Ego vos elegi de mundo, which means I have chosen you out of the world. Ut eatis et fructum afferatis, so that you may go and bear fruit. Et fructus vester maneat, and your fruit will remain. And then we end with an Alleluia. So we're going to sing it for you now, and then I will give you a little more explanation of some of the significance of the music and words. Ready? So 2 weeks ago, I said that one of the significant things about Gregorian chant is that the text is taken right from the scriptures, and it's not a paraphrase, as is often the case for hymns that we might sing if we weren't singing chant. Now I need to qualify that statement a little bit, because the actual texts we have in Gregorian chant sometimes differ from the Latin translation known as the Vulgate, which was the standard translation for most of the history of the Western Church. In this case, there are some slight changes, and I'm going to explain them to you and then explain some of the significance. So for example, this first phrase that we sang, Ego vos elegi de mundo, there are two slight changes from the 16th verse of the 15th chapter of John's Gospel. So the translation of what we just sang for you is, I have chosen you out of the world. This actually comes from the 19th verse of the same chapter, and the composer of the chant has moved this text from verse 19 back into verse 16, and the effect of that is to kind of telescope the meaning of these several verses in here. So not only is it true that we have not chosen Christ, but He has chosen us, but He has also chosen us out of the world, and this creates a certain ambivalence between the church and the world. The world properly understood according to John's own meaning. The more significant change for me is that the Latin text of the Vulgate reads in both verses, Ego elegi vos, which is something we'd expect, I chose you. But in Latin, the meaning does not always depend on the word order. And so the composer has moved the word vos before the word elegi. We sing Ego vos elegi. I, you have chosen. So I and you are very close together. We're going to sing this phrase once more, and then I want to say something about what happens with these two words, ego and vos. So once more, the opening phrase. Ego. So, this chant is in mode 1, which you don't have to know modal theory or anything like that. The significance of it is that all the notes of the piece are between A and C, except for these first two words, ego and vos. Ego, vos. These two words sit above that range, actually. And, even more significantly, ego jumps up by an interval, ego, and the note that's missing we sing in vos. Vos, this very bright B natural. Now, what's the significance of this? We can interpret it many ways, I think. One of them is one of the themes of this chapter in John's Gospel, though, that we remain in Christ. So Christ says, ego, and then we're right in the center. Os, elegi, etc. And then it's as if from there we kind of settle down toward the world, de mundo. Then we go forth. And so now listen to how this text is portrayed in the music, that you may go forth and bear fruit. So here's the second phrase. This, I think you hear, whether or not this is intentional, there's a great movement of upward movement in the word eatis, that you may go forth. So it's a very active kind of word full of elan. And then to bear fruit, even though there's a wide range in this, the old manuscripts tell us to slow down in this part, so that obviously bearing fruit requires that we be planted somewhere and be harvested in a sense. And so what we're going to do now is simply sing the chant one more time through, so you can listen to the entire thing and maybe hear some of the things I'm talking about. So once again, this is Ego vos elegi de mundo. I have chosen you out of the world.